can feel the excitement in the air like you can tonight. But tonight is Iron Man 2, and everybody is excited. The lines are already back around the block.
Oh, it's good to be back at Movie Review Roundtable.
Huge fan of Iron Man. Like, could not be a bigger fan of Iron Man.
You know, every kid needs a role model, and Tony Stark is mine.
I am so trying to prepare myself to be okay with this one sucking.
I have not seen Iron Man 1, so I am representing all those people who have no clue what they're walking into.
I think Iron Man 2 is going to own. Every time I see the trailer, I literally get happy in the pants.
It's going to be a great movie, and I'm not going to be disappointed. It's going to be awesome.
It wasn't Iron Man 1, and I was really antsy, and I wanted to go get food halfway through, and I wanted more battles, and I'm very sad to say that.
I do agree that there could be more action, because the action that was in there, I enjoyed.
This movie rocked. So it had everything, a lot of action, a lot of great character development, awesome dialogue, funny to watch. It, in my opinion, was just slightly under par from the original. It was fantastic. I cannot wait to go see it again.
When the movie got really boring, I just replayed Iron Man 1 over in my head.
On the whole, you're right. This movie wasn't Iron Man 1. I can't wait to rent this. This is going to be a great movie to watch at home. It missed the mark for me, and I'm bummed because I wore a tux.
Okay, I think that what the first one had, which is the same thing with my thing with Spider-Man, is the first Spider-Man, the first Iron Man, they have that moment of discovery. You're discovering this, you're learning about him, and it's the most interesting thing to watch. And then the second one is always, they're tortured, and the third ones are always fighting a bunch of villains, and it's just like, where are you gonna, why even have another one if you're not gonna make, I know, you think it was brilliant.
What's the alternative?
I think you need to, whatever it is about the first film that makes you love it, write that into the second film.
Oh, but I did. I really enjoyed Robert Downey Jr. and Mickey Rourke. I love them.
I was not expecting to enjoy Mickey Rourke at all.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow, I thought he was really kind of like stale. He was the worst part of the entire film for me.
Really?
Yes. Because he just didn't bring anything. There wasn't any emotion behind his character. In the beginning, it's like his dad dies. Like, no!
That was weird. His yells were not good.
I was trying to figure out, like, did he orgasm or was he upset? And has his power. He's very, very, very egotistical. He's very confident in his abilities. He's dealing with this problem. Yes, it's going to take time to get into it. Yes, it's going to be building up to something later on in the film. But the way it handled it, the pacing was perfect because it kept you interested the entire time, and they kept going back and forth. I would have preferred more Stark than Whiplash.
I think the problem is I wanted more Tony. Like whenever he came back on screen, I was like, okay, I'm back with him.
Well,
but every time we went to somebody else, I was just like, oh my god, the whole thing with the Hammer dude. I'm just like, he's normally a good actor. Yeah. What's his name?
Sam
Rockwell. Yeah. And I was just like, oh, get him off the screen. He was annoying.
He was annoying.
But his entire character was meant to be that kind of guy.
But why can't you be annoying and still make me enjoy you? Tony Stark was annoying as shit. I wanted to slap him quite a few times, but I love him.
I thought Cheeto rocked it. Like
he was good.
No, but I mean, it's like I like Terrence Howard to an extent, and I like this portrayal of Rhodey in the first film. But I just after seeing interviews with him and like learning more about him as a person, I was like, nah, man, fuck this guy, because he's just kind of like he's.
Well, see, now I gotta say, I didn't care about that character at all. I mean, I didn't know. I don't know the other portrayal of it.
That's a good example. Go ahead. Yeah.
Well, I didn't think he did a particularly good or bad job. I was kind of bored by him, and I don't feel like I know that character at all.
And you watch the first one, you so can't wait for him to become like Iron Man's guy.
But I thought that like with who we got with Rhodey, Don Cheadle, I think he held his own.
I was expecting to really hold it against him because I'm such a Terrence Howard fan and really felt like he should have just fixed it and stayed with the movie. Fuck the merch, just do it.
Yeah.
But I was pleased that when I watched him, I went, okay, I'm going on the journey. I'm not, I'm not upset with Don Cheadle for being this guy.
Right.
How can you be?
But I really thought I was going to hold it against him because I was just so I wanted to see Terrence Howard get in that suit.
Yeah.
And I read something saying that there was too many villains in this film, and I thought
there wasn't at all.
There wasn't.
No, there's really one, really.
No, because I honestly,
but none of them were good.
Yeah, they weren't great villains.
Well, no, okay, but I thought it was pretty badass though when we first see him, even though we saw the trailer, and he comes. What is the character's name in this with the? Whiplash. Okay, so Whiplash comes out and the fire burns off his suit, and it's just like, wow. That shit. I was like, okay, I'm gonna like him. He's gonna be pretty badass. But then it was like a lot of him typing and a lot of him pouting, and I was just like, It was kind of
Yeah,
uninteresting.
he went to jail pretty quick.
I think his character, and he says that when it's like, he wanted to just wound Stark. That's all he wanted to do. He didn't want to kill him. His intention was never to kill Stark. It was just to show that God can bleed.
I think my favorite character besides Tony is it Black Widow? Is that her name?
Scarlett Johansson?
Yes.
Natasha Romanoff.
I thought Scarlett Johansson was amazing.
She was hot.
Girl power, kick ass, hot and sexy, tough, no bullshit. And her scene where she went in, I was like, fucking A, this made the movie for me.
It did.
She's like kicking guys' ass and like, it's awesome.
Yeah, she's gonna teach me how to do all that. Oh my god.
Because she knows.
And then make me sleep over.
Well, and I think as an actor, I mean, as a girl actor, were you not watching it as a girl actor going, I want to play this role?
Yeah, totally. I mean, I think that there were opportunities that she as a performer missed, I guess, but that wasn't really the point.
When Stark and Rhodes fought was like the greatest rock'em sock'em robots battle.
Okay. Dude, but why is that?
I was waiting for one of the heads to go up.
Why is that battle the most interesting of an entire movie?
Because they're friends.
But it should have. The end battle should have been.
I didn't think that was the most interesting battle.
I thought it was the one where the heart was just like, oh, these guys.
I feel like they rushed Tony Stark's closeness to death.
Yes.
Like, he flew through that. Like 1 minute he's at 90%, he's at 50%.
Yes.
And there was only like 30 seconds dedicated to her discovering that he was lying to her, that he was almost dead.
Yeah.
That was a funny scene, though.
It was funny. I wanted to see.
But there was no emotion.
If you're gonna
connected
flip
to
that
it.
on me at the end, there I want to be some more acting. See, this goes back to what you were saying about the battles. The ending battle not being the greatest, because I was thinking about that scene and I was like, we haven't had this kiss through the helmet thing. And they were on top of the roof and I was like, something else is gonna happen. And she's gonna pick up the helmet and throw it. And he's like, well, I gotta go again and save the end of the world cut in the movie. I don't know. I was waiting for that.
I was too.
And I was waiting for a better battle.
I agree.
I feel like I kind of need to go do some due diligence and read all about the Iron Man from beginning to end, so I know what other villains could have been in this movie.
But now,
or should have been.
Do these movies make, and I understand Iron Man 1 probably does, but do these movies make you want to go read those comics?
This one does.
The second one did?
No.
But not, what I think you're saying though is that you don't want to read them because the movie was good. You want to read them because you're interested in the characters
and the history of this.
Yes.
I think that's credit to Jon Favreau. I think he's a comic book geek who really fell in love with this character and decided, I want to tell it, but I want to tell parts of it.
Yeah.
And so I think he did so in a way that makes it intriguing, because you're like, I know there's more, and he didn't try to tell it all.
Yeah.
And I think that's good storytelling.
And they gave us a solid action film from beginning to end. There were some slow parts, but it wasn't always like not really interesting. And I guarantee you can go back and watch it again, and you'll be like, oh, okay.
I don't need to go watch it.
You know,
I stayed checked in the whole time. I did. I didn't really check out, but I know if I saw it again, I would check out, like, constantly.
I almost want to see it again though. I kind of when I was doubting myself about it, I was like, okay, I was uncomfortable, my knees were hurting, I'm crowded, there's teenagers. I was like trying to give myself excuses for maybe not being with it, because I'm like, it's Iron Man, it's it's Robert Downey Jr., I want to love it. So part of me thinks maybe I should give it another try.
Playing on this movie since the first Iron Man.
It's probably gonna be like Transformers. The first one didn't have much action, but the second one had like a lot of action.
Collectible.
Do you pretend to be Iron Man at night when no one's watching?
She calls me Iron Man.